I recently saw a discussion board where people were trying to decide whether or not I have olive undertones. Apparently there's an entire subreddit for olive undertones. I would just like to clear the air. I don't actually know if I have olive undertones, but there seems to be a lot of confusion about the green cast on my face, and it's just a certain time of year when this tree outside my window has leaves on it because light through the window, green on my face. It's just, you know, kind of one of the byproducts of natural light. And right now it's just snow covered out there and there are no leaves, and so that's why there's no green cast. So I hope that helps to solve the mystery. Hi guys, welcome to another Chanel video. I had no idea that the Chanel video, the one that I waited forever to make, was going to coincide with Chanel being carried at Ulta that day. But at the same time, they released oh, there's a fox outside. Oh, look at you. Oh, get that mouse, you get him. Okay, hi, anyway. My indexing is gonna be crazy, like no one's ever gonna see this video. Yeah, so Ulta also happened to release an exclusive, that's the word I was looking for, Chanel like sub line called Chanel No. 1 or No. 1 de Chanel, and it's all this kind of red camellia active ingredient type stuff. It's mostly skincare. I didn't even realize there was makeup at first, but I ended up picking up the two types of makeup that they offered in that initial release. The first being the Red Camellia Revitalizing Foundation. I picked it up in B10, which is a much better match than my BD01 in the Healthy Glow Foundation, as it turns out. Wow. And I'm actually really excited that it is such a good match because it means that I can wear it a lot of different ways without having to think about compensating for the contrast on my skin. So I will show you that in a second. The other thing that they released besides the skincare were these little lip and cheek balms. I got the shade Healthy Pink and Berry Boost. That's what their little box look like, so you can see the color. These are like close to a quarter of an ounce of product, and they're $45, which is hilarious in contrast to their bronzer, which is $50 for an ounce of product. Anyway, I'm gonna try and do a pretty low-key face of makeup today, like low coverage, low amount of product overall on my face, mainly because I want to show these products as well as I can in a visual sense. And also, you guys know, when I first reviewed Chanel, I was like, maybe this is gonna be this really cool, effortless, luxury kind of face of makeup because it was like healthy glow everything and cream, cream, cream. And it all just disappointed me so much. Like these little guys, oh, I hated them. I'm sorry, but they're just not very good. So I'm going to try and like relive my dream and see if I can achieve something like that with these products. I'm like, this is definitely not a first impression. I have been wearing these a lot, trying them in different instances, trying them with different like levels of coverage and stuff. So I'm going to have very complete final thoughts for you guys on these products. But yeah, I'm gonna move you guys in and we're gonna put the makeup on my face, and then I will go over the pricing, the shade ranges, and my final thoughts, and maybe a little bit of like, you know, this or that kind of comparison stuff. So let's go ahead and jump in. Been listening to too much Nicole Byer. So this again is the No. 1 de Chanel Red Camellia Revitalizing Foundation B10. It's a thick looking formula, but it's extremely thin on the skin. I did just do a lot of skincare so that this would spread really nice and evenly, but it is a pretty darn good match. Do you see how that doesn't like glow in contrast? Oh boy, still got that Chanel fragrance though, doesn't it? And I do find that because of the shade match being a lot better, it can be worn kind of wherever I need it, and then I can like leave it off where I don't. But I do end up doing at least a tiny bit everywhere. You know, you can just put this on your hands and spread it like a regular skin tint, you know? And it mostly like taps out smoothly, even though it is really, really thin. I think that that was the big advantage that I found about the formula, was that it didn't really have a lot of emollients to it, but that meant that it was super buildable because it's so thin. each layer is so thin on your face that as you get like the first layer dried down, like I could, and I probably will kind of go in with a little bit and cover that with another layer, a little bit more gingerly than that. I liked that it sort of eliminated another step in my routine of maybe putting on more concealer than I normally would. So I'm just not even like applying full pumps here. I'm just kind of going like with baby pumps, low pumps, if you will, just seeing kind of how much I can get out of each one. But I do like that even though it's real thin in some spots, I can get just this nice, even color on my skin. And you know, much like anything Chanel, it's going to have a long wearing promise. And I have found that that is true. The main thing that I got hung up on initially was that this is very different in finish depending on what you put underneath it. If I put Glossier Future Dew under it, it is going to be a wet mess. But you would think that that means that it's a super emollient, very dewy foundation. But it's not. Like if I didn't do my skincare or use a primer like right before, it can be pretty matte. Like, not matte, but you know, on my winter skin, it'll just kind of soak up all that red Camellia, I guess, and it can really look like more of a, I don't know, like a satin finish than just like straight up natural finish. And I have to look online. I looked this morning, but I've already forgotten like what they actually claim the finish of this is, but it's supposed to be, I think, like, you know, medium coverage. So, super beautiful. I do feel like it looks better on camera than it does in person. It's not like enchanting. I'll never forget the first time that I met Leanne in person. It was in Austin and she lived in Dallas at the time. And I could just tell, you know, she was just very like socially overwhelmed by the time we met up. And I was like, so what do you think about Austin? And she was like, what do you mean? And I was like, I don't know. I mean, it's a place where a lot of people are moving to, you know? And of course she was from Texas and she goes, I mean, I'm not enchanted. It's like the magic of Austin just wasn't there for her, and that just always sticks in my mind when something is like good but not like amazing. I'm like, I'm not enchanted, you know? And it's good, but I'm not enchanted. But I'm going to keep going here. And first I'm just gonna go with the blushes, you know, and then we'll kind of conceal and everything after that because I kind of don't wanna waste your time. So again, I got Berry Boost and I got Healthy Pink. We're gonna start with Healthy Pink and then, you know, finish with Berry Boost. I got a PR package from Rare Beauty last night and in it came this really nifty little brush. Their brushes are very innovative. I like this one. This was supposed to be a blush brush. It's funky because it's kind of reminiscent of their foundation brush, except it's sparse and kind of spiky, whereas this one's really dense and soft. So I'm gonna use that. Let's see what kind of look we can get here. It is a little uncomfortable. Not the product, the brush. It's a little unpleasantly spiky, but I don't think you're supposed to stipple it as much as you are supposed to just kind of wipe it. And I did put this on with my fingers the first time that I used it, and I liked it. Like, it works well for that. You guys just know I'm not much of a fingers gal. It's a little slow going when you're planning to put on as much blush as I tend to. You know, you're gonna be there all day. You don't have time to do anything else after that if you bother with, you know, putting it on with your fingers. Plus, I'm a little bit of a perfectionist about the symmetry and everything, and I just cannot achieve that with my fingers. All right. While I like the idea of this brush, it like needs a haircut or something because it's just, I think it's gonna give me a flush to my cheeks just because it's like poking my skin. That extra glow, you know? All right, I'm gonna go in with my BK 101 here. And like, look at the little spiky marks that that brush made in there. So the formula on these is pretty balmy. I mean, it's called a balm, but the main thing is I feel like it works well with this foundation because the foundation, like I said, it kind of can go a little bit satin, and then it'll sort of soak up a little bit of the emollients on these blushes and still leave your cheeks with more of a glow than the rest of your face, which can be phenomenal. You know, I actually, I'm just gonna go ahead and spoil it here. I went on my Instagram and I was like, hey guys, what are some of your hidden gems that you recommend that I try? I want to do like a video or several videos trying out your hidden gem products. Well, you guys delivered. I mean, y'all came through, and I'm in the process of buying a lot of them right now and then organizing them into videos. Just get excited, because honestly, you guys are such an awesome resource for things that I would like never have known about, because they've just like makeup products that have been around for a long time that aren't necessarily getting a lot of attention, and hence hidden gems. Either way, before I go on too long here, oh my gosh, this is the MAC Blush Please Glow Play Blush. I actually got another shade of it too, but I've seen State of Kate talk about the body heat. Is that what it's called? Oh no, heat wave, heat something, I don't remember. The very, very coral shade. Coral's not my shade, but it looks amazing on her, and I just always thought it was like about that color. But man, this formula is, oh my gosh, it is a winner. So I feel like the balminess of these does give me a little bit of that same vibe on my cheeks, where it's like, I look like I'm wearing less makeup because the light is hitting my cheeks in a way that looks more like natural skin. But I feel like it could be achieved more easily with another product that doesn't kind of stay so emollient. I feel like it is really going after the lip and cheek thing to the point that it's a little bit kind of like a lip gloss, and not in like a sticky, like goopy syrupy way, but definitely in a shiny way. See, like I just glued my hair down, yuck. But very pretty color, very easy to control, and does go on really thinly on the skin. I like it, I do. It's kind of like the Kosas in the sense that it doesn't really have a lot of technology to the formula. It's not going on one way and then transforming and becoming long wearing or anything like that, whereas like this reminds me a little bit of the Bounce and Blur from Bare Minerals, in the sense that it feels like a cream and then it finishes like a powder. It's that beautiful hybrid. These feel very low tech, and again, that was why I think it occurred to me more to do a like low-key face of makeup with this makeup, because that was what these felt like, you know? So this is the Berry Boost, and to me it just read fjords. Take me to the fjords. That's a Google search term that is associated with my name. I did not realize that, but apparently people Google Khaki Reviews Beauty fjords a lot because they just want to know what the heck we're talking about. So if you're new here, it is the whole idea of like running in cold weather. If you ran a lap in cold weather, maybe near or on a fjord, if you can run on water, you would get this really nice natural flush to your cheeks, and it would be more than just, on most people, it would be more than just here. It kind of is all-encompassing, right? And I just try and mimic that on me by kind of taking it a little bit further down. I don't know, I just feel like that's what it would look like if I ran around and got kind of wind chapped, you know? So I love those colors, I really do. I'm gonna go in with like all my concealer and everything. I'm just gonna zoom through it though, so that we can really get to the point here. But I think that I have, as long as I don't get too carried away, achieved my low-key face of makeup with these products so far. So I'll be with you in just a moment. Please enjoy the music.
I've realized
This is my very, very low-key Chanel vibe today. I went in with my Kosas concealer, and then you guys saw I was like, oh wait, I wanted to see if I could build the foundation a little bit on top of this healing zit, and I did, and it worked great. And I used a little bit of Bite Beauty powder. I went in with my Makeup by Mario little eye quad, the Foreplay Everyday. I didn't use any of the shimmers or anything. I used a little bit of the brown, but mostly the mattes. And then I went in with my Triple Beauty wand for just like a little bit of brightness from Beauty Pie. I just used the Victoria Beckham Clear Gloss. I used a little bit of my Kosas Airbrow in medium brown, and then I'm testing out, I got a little weenie bottle of the Come Hell or High Water mascara from Camélia, which is a new one to me, but it is a tubing mascara, or at least it claims to be a tubing mascara, so we'll see on that. I'll have thoughts for you on that later. I'm gonna be, doing a whole, there's a lot of content coming. I will let you guys know how that one fares. But let us chat about Chanel. Sorry. Chanel #1. The first thing you might not know about this foundation, as it is, an Ulta exclusive and everything, and Ulta is not known for, just drugstore. They've got the whole gamut, but that's very pricey. It is $70 for this foundation, and you just get the standard ounce of product. I didn't even show you guys the component. It's pretty darn similar, but just round and frosted glass. And it has the same fragrance as the other Chanel stuff that I've tried. Shade range is only 20 shades, and it goes white, beige, beige, brown, brown. And that's about it. And that is very unimpressive to me. If you're gonna put something out at Ulta, the people's beauty store, that's how I feel about Ulta. Either way, it does not feel inclusive at all. And I saw 20 shades and I was like, I just honestly unfairly assumed that they probably had the shade range on lock. And then as I read the reviews, they were like, this is bad. There are only, 4 shades for deep skin tones, maybe only 3, really? It's not good, especially considering that there are 20 shades total. That is my first big criticism here. And the second is just that it's $70. I understand that it's Chanel, but $70 for a skin tint, it's more expensive than the Healthy Glow. And I think the Healthy Glow is a more versatile formula. It says it's a buildable foundation with a luminous finish. Yeah, I don't think it's luminous necessarily. It's luminous if you put something luminous under it. I found that if I didn't put anything under it, it was fairly matte. Like I said, the Healthy Glow is actually much more luminous. Enriched with red camellia oil and moisturizing ingredients, the formula softens skin and helps protect against environmental aggressors. The complexion appears plump and naturally more beautiful. Day after day, skin takes on a youthful glow. Yeah, it's fine. At the heart of the #1 to Chanel line is the red camellia flower, whose revitalizing powers and extraordinary energy give it perennial youth. Red camellia oil delivers comfort and helps maintain skin's barrier function. Immediately after application, the complexion appears 33% more radiant, with a 55% comfort restored, and after 1 month, skin looks smoother. That's just fraught with asterisks, because I'm sure they're citing, some kind of study they paid someone to do. I'm itchy. Okay, the #1 to Chanel collection seeks to minimize its environmental impact with sustainably developed formulas that contain up to 97% naturally derived ingredients. Each product is housed in environmentally sound packaging for reduced carbon footprint. So, is that greenwashing? These look the same to me, and honestly, matte black plastic it's just splitting hairs, but it's actually worse for worker conditions than just regular black, and also harder to recycle, I want to say. I'm not totally sure, but I really don't see a big difference here in terms of environmental impact between the regular one and the, the new one, the #1. There's also no way of recycling a pump unless you have a TerraCycle box. You can always return these things to, I want to say, L'Occitane stores. They're look around your area, I'm not totally sure, but lots of places accept these kinds of things so that they can recycle them through TerraCycle. But the whole point is, if you're gonna do it and you're ahead of it, why are you making more that we have to do that to, instead of just doing something that has a better sustainability entire life cycle? I just think that the claim is a little bit empty. And that is also why I feel like this came with the trappings, the understanding, the implication that it was supposed to be kind of a more chill vibe, is because it's like, we always talk about the clean beauty aesthetic coming with like naturally derived ingredients and everything. Like, it does have a look to it. It doesn't necessarily mean every clean brand has a certain look, but it's something that we kind of associate with. It's very like Gwyneth goopy, you know? I will withhold all of that until my final thoughts because I kind of just, bleh, I'm just gonna like word vomit. Let's talk about the blushes. All right, the Red Camellia Revitalizing Lip and Cheek Balm. I probably should have put some on my lips just to show you. I'll put it on top of my lip gloss here. I'll use the lighter one. It's very accommodating. As a lip formula, I just don't really like lip color. As a rule, something that is like that kind of finish, you know, that has that much pigment to it is not necessarily something I typically go for, but we can leave it there for now because it's mixed with my lip gloss. So these are $45 a piece. They come in 6 shades. I do like these shades. They have a lot more variety to them than these guys. These sticks, the regular Le Beige sticks, they all come in these wild kind of sparkly, like warm apricot-y shades. And I was like, none of these complement one another. Like, I'll do one apricot-y shade, but I want it to kind of be balanced out with something a little bit more like muted. And they were all just kind of loud and fluorescent. And these have a lot of complexity built into them. They are very translucent as far as the pigment is concerned. And so you look at these and, you know, that is going to work on many, many skin tones because the opacity is not necessarily building in like an ashy whiteness. Even, is it called Healthy Pink? It has a good amount of kind of balmy, dewy translucence. So, you know, if it's light enough to, or if your skin is light enough for that to even like show up in a way that you would like, I don't feel like it's going to like go ashy on you, but I'm not the final say on those things. So yeah, this says multi-use lip and cheek balm enriched with camellia oil. The nourishing buttery formula melts into skin while adding a touch of color. Lips appear vibrant and plump. Vibrant, plump. I do wish that products, before you bought them online, especially since we're mostly shopping online these days, I wish that they would say like what the containers are made out of before you order them. Like, that would be really cool. So I will tell you guys, I'm pretty sure that's glass. The top is plastic, but these are in glass. Valuable information for your everyday life. So I mean, pretty straightforward in the amount of products here, right? We're not gonna be like going on and on and on about like the details because there are literally 2 products and I just got the blush in 2 colors. Let me go ahead and hit you guys with my final thoughts here. What is it called again? Revitalizing Foundation. I think it's very, 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 very pretty. I think it's as pretty as the Healthy Glow with less coverage and you might see this as an advantage or a disadvantage, but an adaptable finish that really just kind of obeys whatever you put on underneath it. So if I'm having a dry skin day, it's gonna go kind of matte, and it's not like a bad matte. It's kind of like the Fenty Eavesdrop in that sense. It's just kind of a more satin sort of, you know, more polished look. And then if I put like oil underneath it or something like that, it will look a little bit more plump, a little bit more hydrated. But I kind of feel like that has more to do with what I'm putting underneath it. That said, super thin. Super, super thin formula. It doesn't look thin when it comes out. It's just kind of like when it goes on the skin, it likes to be really, really, like go down really thin, like a very, very light layer on your skin, and then you can build it. And I find that the dry down really helps with the buildability. As far as my context around like an adaptable skin tint, I feel like this was going for Exa, the foundation that I really, really loved a couple of years ago that came out from Credo, and the shade range on Exa is so much better. It's so much better distributed. It's, I think, 40 shades, and it's just got like pretty darn equal distribution for each like skin tone. So I think that one's 39 and this one's 70. That's the other thing here. I know, as you like dip one toe into Chanel, right? Just money falls out of your pocket. That's just the idea of luxury beauty. But like, it's $10 more than this one. For what? Like, why? Because it's more sustainable? I feel like we have grown past that in our understanding of like makeup and the beauty industry, that like simpler ingredients or more naturally derived ingredients should not jack the price of a product up. And also, I do want to take a look at the ingredients. I want to go like full clean routine 2019 here and see just, you know, balance wise, how much we're talking about in terms of like silicones and how high they are in the ingredient list. The first is water, then cocoa caprylate. So neither of those is a silicone. We got alkane, glycerin, silica, dextrin, magnesium sulfate. This is a really simple formula. And I want to say that it's silicone free? Huh? I mean, that kind of changes things a little bit. I have to admit that does kind of change my opinion a little bit. You know, we're talking about 97% naturally derived. That other 3% could easily have been just like full-on dimethicone, but it isn't. And this is long wearing. And it does have really flexible coverage. That does kind of change things because, you know, someone who's dealing with breakouts and stuff right now, you know, I love to be able to reach for something that doesn't have silicones in it. And like I said, the Exa, I would compare it really closely to that, but the Exa kind of performs like it doesn't have silicones in it. Like it doesn't have a really, really awesome dry down. And I find that a lot of times when things are kind of like water and wax based, sometimes they will be a little bit more like thick and heavy feeling on the skin, and this is just so gosh darn thin. Oh, I still don't know if it's worth $70, but like, it does give me like the feel-good properties of knowing that it's such a simple formula. Ah, crap. I really thought I had my thoughts together on this, guys, but it's actually like a little more impressive than I wanted to give it credit for. I do think that their environmental thing, they should have just rolled it out as an entire company-wide thing. It shouldn't just be about one little release, like one little sub-brand. I have no idea kind of what the purpose of doing that and releasing it as like #1 de Chanel is like a different brand that's supposed to be more sustainable, and I would really like to know what their sustainability, like the reality of those sustainability promises reality of it is. It's like, you know, I don't necessarily get on brands all the time for bulky packaging X, Y, and Z. I want to hold them accountable if they make those claims. I just don't love like the idea of smoke and mirrors, I guess. So it does feel a little smoke and mirrors in that sense, but I do appreciate all of the glass, cool. But I think that the main thing that excites me about this is that it actually has a pretty darn good ingredient list, and it does have like actual long wearing properties. I really feel like it sticks to those claims, and it's really, really pretty. I will say, as far as the blushes are concerned, I think they're very pretty. I do think they're Chanel priced. You do get, I mean, that's quite a bit of product, and it does feel really nice and heavy and luxurious and everything. And I feel like if you still want like that lightweight face and you kind of had your hopes up about these sticks, this is going to satisfy you so much more. And it does give this really dewy appearance, but this is going to take away from any kind of long wearing promise because you know, it's gonna come off. That's just what products like that do. Like if you want something that looks like this that doesn't do that, then, you know, go with something like this. But these are, like I said, very low tech. And I just want to set the expectation as such. I just don't want anybody going into buying a $45 cream blush thinking it's going to have the Chanel like high-tech innovation in their formulas that they typically have, like they have with like the Le Beige water tint and stuff like that, where it's just like, what is this? Oh my God, like this is a very familiar formula, and it's a little sticky for my taste, honestly. I think that if you enter into it with the Chanel pricing in mind, but you are looking for more of like a clean beauty look, these might satisfy you, but like, there has to be some kind of appeal to you to interacting with Chanel products, because these products can be duped. You know, like the Exa or the, what else is, you know, this is silicone free, also has a lousy shade range. The Typology Serum Tint, like this is not an undupable situation. As soon as you get into kind of playing in this arena, you're up against a whole new group of like companies who have been just hacking away at this concept for years and years and years. I will say though, for what it is, they nailed it. I just think you can get it for cheaper than $70. And these like entirely dupeable, but I don't even think that you would really want to dupe them because they're too sticky for my taste anyway. So will I keep wearing them? Absolutely. I'll especially keep wearing the foundation because I have it. But like, I don't think you need to run out and spend $70 freaking on it, you know? Like, I wouldn't tell a friend to do that. I'd tell them to buy the Typology or the Exa. So yeah, I hope that this was fun and enjoyable for you guys. A little bit of a refreshing change of pace for my actual like look that I ended up with. It's so much lighter than the like fortune teller look I've been going for lately, my dystopian cowgirl fortune teller. So yeah, you know, if you like it, thanks. If you enjoyed this video, if you found it valuable, do give it a thumbs up. If you'd like to keep hanging out with me on this channel, hit the button down below and subscribe. I would love it if you guys did. Thank you so much for watching and for hanging out with me today. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.